Welcome back. It's Rezy Roszalez, the Black Greek Problem, also known as your favorite artist you should have heard of by now. And if you haven't, at least you have now. Once again, this month, every Thursday, find me here in my office /workspace /thinkhole /man cave. But all jokes aside, make sure y'all show love to Entrepre. I know y'all see this shirt, man. I know y'all was looking at that shirt. Y'all wasn't listening to me speak. Y'all was like, yo, what shirt is that? Yo, man. Yo, that joint. Yup. Ask my lawyer. Badlands, second album, just dropped what? February 15th, 215. In case y'all didn't know why I chose a Monday, because February 15th, 215 till I die. So where we gonna get started? Badlands, the original idea stems back to 2017. I had a project, it was like a mixtape, it was called Jungle. My city, you know, Philadelphia, and just how I feel like it's a jungle, concrete jungle. Like late 2018, early 2019, I'm like, yo, I want to make this jungle idea and move it to magnify against my neighborhood, Badlands. The first song I wrote for it, El Moreno. I will say around mid 2019, I wrote that during the curation of Patience. But I didn't have a song title for it yet because the intro was long as hell. The beat itself that I rapped over is probably a minute. So what am I gonna do with this? So I just left it untitled, set it down. At that point, I'm like, yo, it'd be dope if I have like half of the project be like Spanish Latin samples, and it'd be dope if the other half was just traditional hip hop beats. So I just wanted to show the marriage between communities within my community, the Black community, the Hispanic community, and to show how they coexist. But that was before I had the story of the album in my head. I just knew I'm from this neighborhood. I lived 20 plus years in this one house on this one block in this one neighborhood. I went to a school around the corner, like 2 blocks. Got kicked out of that school. Not get kicked out, but I had a lot of issues. My mom sent me to a Catholic school, B in Lehigh, which is basically Kensington and Lehigh. And if you know Philly, whether you from or you not from Philly, you know what's up with Kensington, bro. And saying that, you know what kind of neighborhood I was living in. I just want to talk about it. After writing some records, I found a story. A young boy, me, he lives in his neighborhood. He celebrates and loves his neighborhood. And the older he gets and as more time passes, he starts to get fed up with what comes with said neighborhood. And it's like, you know what? I gotta dip out. Because one of two things is gonna happen. Either I'ma leave or I'ma end up becoming a product of my environment. I love the hood, so I don't want to leave it. But at the same time, I know what happens to those that don't leave the hood, whether you in the streets or not. I wasn't trying to be one of those people. And also, history lesson. I want to talk about my neighborhood, man. Like, drop facts on these people. I had to let y'all know what's going on with the hood, how we got our name, where we came from. That's why I went down that whole Instagram situation where every Monday up until the album dropped, I was giving you tidbits of information from some of the most important intersections of my life. And then that's when I started writing a whole slew of records. And mind you, I was working on this while I was still finishing Patience. Remember I told you last week, Dunny went from South Street to Tandem. Well, what I didn't tell you is after Dunny left Tandem, he started working out the crib. And that's where I finished Patience at. That's where we got everything mixed and mastered, because he recorded and mixed and mastered everything off of that album. So with this album, I started it off with Dunny. We recorded No Sidewalks and we recorded El Moreno. C's loved No Sidewalks from the rip, because C's wasn't there when I got there. He got there after I was there, so I was already done recording that song by the time he popped up. So we get in the car, he's like, you know the situation, go ahead, play them records. I put on No Sidewalks. And mind you, this is the first mix. It wasn't fully mixed. It wasn't nothing. And he's just like, yo. The first time that I'm aware of in my life. By this point, it's been 2.5 years I've been working with him. And this one time, he's like, yo, run that shit back. He just giving me props like, yo, you're growing as an artist. You're starting to grow into yourself. You're not wearing your influences as much. You're just really starting to grow your own sound and your own vibe. And I said, thank you, my nigga. But yeah, he said he's starting to get into your own vibe, into your own character. Just keep that energy. Dunny stopped recording for a while, so then I needed a new studio. C's was like, yo, I know a bull. He right up there by Hunting Park. He getting his studio together now. When he get his drawing together, we gonna slide up. And probably like a month later, middle of February, C's bring me to the studio with beef. My nigga, this guy is a fucking monster, my nigga. And he's not even a scary looking dude, bruh. If you were to see this nigga, you would think he played chess. Like, he just has a chess face. I hope that don't sound offensive. Before we start recording, he just playing a bunch of beats that he's been working on and just shit that he was working on before we got there. I'm like, oh, this you? He's like, yeah. So, we in that John's like, okay, I fucks with this. My first session with him was a song I haven't released yet, and Yikes freestyle. COVID hit after our first session, so we had to wait for like 2-3 months after COVID hit. Got in the studio. As you know, every single month last year, starting from March all the way to the release of Badlands this year, I dropped some piece of music, whether it was a single or a mixtape, that I'm talking about next week. I don't really have a life. I say that to say this. Most of my life and my identity is tied to being a musician. When it comes to these kind of videos where I'm talking to you about like the history or how something came to be, it sounds kind of boring and lackluster because it's like, it's not no crazy stories. It's not like, yo, I went to King of Diamonds, got fucked up, lost $20,000, went into the studio, rapped about it, and got a hit. Like, no, like, I'm a regular dude. I don't got the cleanest swag. I don't got the hardest bars when it comes to killing motherfuckers. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a murderer. I'm just a regular dude that live on the sidewalk. There's a group of people that live in the hood that it's not involved in hood politics, not involved in the streets. They still live in the hood. So all I'm saying is you don't gotta be in these streets to live a street life, to have a hood story. Like, prime example, 11 o'clock at night, 2014, July, main man that lived with us is on the ground in front of us, bleeding to death, dying and all this shit. I hate the fact that I had that experience. I hate what it did to me mentally, but at the end of the day, like, that's regular shit. The hood mentality has a habit of downplaying those that don't take part in the streets. You not tough because you're not in the streets. Oh, you not that bull because you're not in the streets. Oh, you not running these streets, so you ain't running shit. And it's just like, bro, outside of the streets, there's so much more going on. Prime example, 2014 again, this is like May or June. My man's 5-10 minutes from my crib. He was at a block party. Shots go off. He get hit in the head. Not even meant for him. He not a street nigga. I knew the type of person he was, his goals in life, and what he was doing with his life and doing to plan ahead. It didn't involve the streets. But look, and he not with us no more. RP Jameer, RP Miguel, RP BA, RP Scott, RP Gilly, RP Nam. Like, bro, I can go down the list of niggas I lost. It don't mean nothing because it's still gonna happen as everyday hood shit. If somebody like me, not in the streets, they on the sidewalk, so to speak, getting indirectly affected by all these things, I know for a fact there's a whole community of people out there like me. All these hood niggas, all these killers, all these drug dealers, they done killed millions of people, sold tons of fucking drugs, and everybody cool with that. Everybody can relate, but there's nobody out there talking about, yo, I'm from the hood, I didn't lead a street life, but here's all the street shit that happened around me that affected me and those close to me. Nobody really flexed the sidewalks. I had to put on for the sidewalks one time. Everywhere is Badlands. Badlands is everywhere, bro. I could connect to somebody over in Dallas, Texas that can't connect to nobody in their inner circle or in their neighborhood because nobody's giving them a perspective I'm giving them. There's people out in India probably feeling what I'm feeling. There's people probably out in Tokyo probably feeling what I'm feeling. There's people probably out in Kazakhstan feeling how I'm feeling, Czech Republic, etc., man. I just wanted to talk about how we all going through the same thing. All of us ain't street niggas in the hood, but all of us is just niggas that's trying to get out the hood, you feel me? Oh yeah, another thing. Another reason why I went with the Spanish aspect of it is I wanted to have vibes that my family could listen to. I grew up with the Rican side of my family. I didn't really grow up too much with the black side. My Rican side don't listen to nothing. Like, my mom listen to gospel. Everybody else listen to like 80s dance music, cause you know they old heads. So everybody listen like 80s dance music or Spanish music, cause we're Puerto Rican. So I just wanted to have different vibes and different songs that my family could play at family functions, and they could be like, yeah, that's my nephew. They don't do that. Why did I do that? There was no reason for me to do that. That's basically how Badlands came to be. Thank y'all for stopping by, man. Go follow him, Caesar the King. Go follow his brand. He's selling shirts. He got all different flavors. So right now, protect your rights. Don't say shit. When niggas pull you over, when niggas try to be rough on you, niggas try to do something to you when it comes to these cops, they be like, yo, questions. You be like, all I'm saying is, protect yourself, protect your rights. Next week, I'll be talking about my mixtape, Flavor Shop Pack, Volume 1. Some good history there. Let me know in the comments below. You got any questions about Badlands? Any questions about Flavor Shop Pack? What's your favorite Badlands tidbit of information? Tell me your favorite song off of Badlands. Tell me what you want to know about Flavor Shop Pack next week. And also, if the cops want to ask you anything, don't forget, you ain't gotta say nothing. Point at your shirt, leave it at that. Let the lawyer do the talking. Guess that win-win, have you home for din-din. You know the vibes. Skrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr